All get ready for big.
Everybody get up! Big
It's called Big Live. You ready, Big Nick? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My name is Eric, they call me Peace.
Hello? Are you with me? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me. Holy cow. You know what, guys? This happens at most states of the unions. And if we can get this camera working, this is going to go off without a hitch. I think most State of the Unions, they say they start at 9. Really, they start at 6. And it's just so they have ample time to kind of work out the kinks, which is exactly what we're doing right now. Appreciate you guys' patience and whatnot. But we're going live. We're going to do a full reset in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Oh boy, that was stressful. It's me, Nick. You guys remember me from songs like oh shoot, what's one of those songs I wrote? The Irishman theme song. Anyways, how can you guys hear me? Dear Lord. All right, we're in business. The State of the Union has officially begun. Oh man, I'll be honest, I'm starting on kind of a not my best foot forward because I really was trying to put a lot of care into how I looked, and it was very important to me that I looked presidential, and then I started getting nervous and I started drinking some wine, and I should have brushed my teeth, and I didn't realize until it started recording that it looked like I've been punched in the mouth, and I haven't been punched in the mouth. I've been just drinking some wine is all, and I'm excited to deliver this address. I'm sorry about the kinks. I hope this doesn't say. I see we've lost maybe half the viewers, so maybe I should make a quick post letting people know that the problem's been solved and that it's time to come back. My wife just said, do I need to restart the router? For the love of God, please no. All right, anyways, I prepared some remarks. We'd probably be 10 minutes deep into this thing by now, and on to the Q&A portion. Anyways, I want to spit this out before Trump gets started, so I'm going to just go ahead and just jump right into my address here. There's just a few words. You know, a lot of people in politics, they have these script writers, speech writers, and they put all their thoughts down for them on paper, but I'm a genuine person, and I wrote this myself, and because it comes from my heart, and because I couldn't stand to look you all in the eye if it was any other way. I'm not going to let someone else speak on my behalf. So this is a few words I jotted down to just get off my chest how I'm feeling about the State of the Union. And it starts like this. My fellow Americans, first and foremost, thank you. Which, you don't have gratitude, what? You know. So it says, thank you for tuning in tonight. In this hour of national reflection at this solemn and which excuse me. Do I need to back up? My mic broke. You guys with me? Hello? What was the last thing you guys heard me say? Sorry, we'll do these words are important to me. I want to make sure I get them right. So if someone can replay back, do I need to start over from the top? You heard nothing. Heard nothing so far at all? Oh, great. All right, we're gonna do a quick another reset. All right, from the top, my fellow Americans, thank you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. In this hour of national reflection, at this solemn and historic juncture where the eyes of the world are fixed upon these United States of America, I extend my profound and heartfelt gratitude to every citizen, every family, every patriot who has chosen to join me at the State of the Union address delivered directly to you on YouTube, which is 100% true. We are on YouTube, and I do extend my heartfelt gratitude to you. Your presence here is not mere viewership. It is an active civic engagement, a declaration of your unwavering commitment to the truth, to excellence, and to the restoration of American greatness in every sphere of our national life. And when you really think about it, it is every sphere of our natural life, because it is the restoration of American greatness. From the bustling streets of our great cities to the quiet towns and farmlands that form the backbone of this republic, from coast to coast and border to border, you have gathered virtually as one people under God to hear the unvarnished facts about where we stand as a nation and where we must go under leadership that delivers results, not rhetoric. Which, frankly, the more I think about it, it is like it's a virtual. It's like, even though we're connected through the web or whatever, we are all together, right, in this shared. It's not necessarily dialogue; it's more of a monologue. But thank you, America. Thank you from the depths of my being as your former president and as a leader who has never wavered in the pursuit of perfection for this exceptional nation. Let us begin by celebrating the tangible successes that have already reshaped American culture and commerce in ways that future historians will study as turning points of unprecedented magnitude. The Kickstarter campaign for Ends Vinyl stands as one of the most triumphant demonstrations of American ingenuity, unity, and grassroots support in the modern era. So true. I wrote this. This was no ordinary fundraising effort. It was a national movement, a collective affirmation, and when the people are called to invest in excellence, they respond with overwhelming generosity and vision. And frankly, it's not even national, it's international. On account of we had people from the UK, Austria, Australia. Actually, let me... Sorry. Hello? Okay, sorry. I'm almost through this, guys. Sorry, bear with me. I'm a little nervous. Let's see, where were we? We shattered every benchmark, every projection, every cynical prediction from the naysayers who doubted the power of direct connection between creator and citizen. And I am pleased, very true, I am pleased, indeed I am proud beyond measure, also true, to report that all shipping has been fulfilled for those supporters who submitted their addresses in a timely manner. And the packages have gone out, and the vinyl has been delivered. And the tangible proof of our shared achievement now graces homes across this land. And to those who have not yet submitted their addresses, I speak directly to you tonight with urgency and clarity. Do so immediately. Do not delay. The fulfillment process awaits your action, and the rewards of this historic campaign belong to you as much as any other patriot who answered the call. And this success is yours, America. It proves that when led with vision and executed with precision like I brought to you, the American people can accomplish anything. See, this isn't, I feel like I'm not getting the energy. I'm not hearing the applause. I know that if everyone were here in person, that I'd be able to just kind of, I need to maybe take a few deep breaths. Anyways, moving forward. It's almost, just got a little bit more. All right. The numbers are booming, man. I would love to see if Trump can keep up with this viewership. Building upon this momentum, I have released a series of instant classics over the past few months that have not only dominated the cultural landscape, but have redefined what it means to create art that endures. Foremost among these is the viral sensation Big Nick Christmas. Has anyone heard of that one? It's a work of profound emotional depth and melodic mastery that has captured the hearts and imaginations of millions upon millions across every demographic, every region, every walk of life. And this is not hyperbole. This is measurable reality. Big Nick Christmas has spread like wildfire because it speaks to the timeless American yearning for joy, for family, for the sacred traditions that bind us together even in the darkest of winters. All right, so we need to put, I appreciate the super chat, but we need to put whoever this shark person is in a timeout because I've already addressed it. I'm insecure about that I didn't have a chance to brush my teeth before the stream, and I'd appreciate if no one else commented on that because right now we're working with substance. We're trying to pay attention to what. Did you guys hear what I said at the start? I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear. Did you guys hear my whole spiel about how most politicians, they hire speech writers and that I'm different. I like to speak from my heart. And so I wrote this down, and that's what I'm doing. I'm opening my heart to you, and I'm spilling my guts on this stage, and you have the audacity to make fun of my physical appearance. How dare you? You're lucky that you're allowed to remain on the web with that kind of behavior. You should be in jail for acting like that. And I appreciate the $4.99. Big Nick Christmas has been streamed and shared and celebrated in numbers that eclipse anything that we have seen in contemporary music. And it's establishing a new standard for holiday anthems that will be referenced for decades, if not centuries to come. And this achievement alone would mark any leader's tenure as transformative, yet it is only one pillar in the edifice of progress that I've constructed. Consider, too, the character of the Wet Man. Who here knows about the Wet Man? Consider the Wet Man, who is in an astonishingly short span has immediately entered the cultural conversation at the highest levels and has taken his rightful permanent place alongside the most iconic figures in American folklore. Let's think Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus himself, the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. Wet Man is more than a creation. He is a symbol of resilience in the face of elemental forces, of adaptability in uncertain times, of the American capacity to emerge stronger, more determined, and more unified no matter the storm. And speaking of storm, folks, you won't even believe the storm that's coming. You think you know what's coming? This is families discuss him at dinner tables. Schools teach lessons of perseverance. Let me tell you a story. I was walking down the street the other day. I had an elderly woman walk up to me. She's probably 47 years old. And she said, listen, Big Nick, my mom is in hospice. She's 84 years old. She can no longer speak. She uses a colostomy bag. She said, every minute of my mom's life is a living hell. But I showed her the Wet Man video. And she cried tears of joy, and she said, "Bring in the whole family." She brought in all of her kids and nieces and nephews and uncles, and they all gathered around and they held the phone and they watched the Big Nick Christmas video, and they all wept with joy. And her last words were "Wet Man." And she came up to me and she told me on the street, and she was crying a single tear, and she said, "You saved my mother's life." it was hyperbole because she did pass, but she was miserable before the wet man, and she died in a good spot, and that was good news to her. So I wanted to share that story with y'all. That's a true story that happened to me. Families discuss the wet man at dinner tables. Schools teach lessons of his perseverance. Communities invoke his spirit in times of challenge. That's so true. He has joined the pantheon of not through gimmick or fleeting trend, but through the authentic power of storytelling that resonates with the core of the American soul. Wow. I got chills when I read that. And I wrote this. This is a cultural immortality achieved in record time, and it bears my unmistakable imprint of excellence. Again, this is where there usually be an applause break. There'll probably be a standing ovation for minutes, but I just got to kind of keep going because it's just the cards we were dealt. All right, got a little bit more as we're wrapping up here in a second. I'm sorry, guys. It's really hot. Let us speak to the length of Marshmallow, the character that I personally conceived and brought into being, who has in swift order become one of the most beloved pieces of Americana in this entire sweep of our national history. Marshmallow embodies the gentle strength, the wholesome delight, and the communal warmth that define the best of who we are as a people. From backyard gatherings to national celebrations, Marshmallow has woven himself into the fabric of our shared identity, evoking nostalgia for simpler times while pointing toward a brighter and sweeter future, which is so true because when you look to the future, you see the stuff that's happening. It makes me sick. You see the lunatics. You see these lunatics that are running the country and are running the Hollywood, and then you see Marshmallow and you think maybe there's a safe spot for us to land. Let me reiterate, I've read this. I wrote this. Children adore him. A given. Adults find comfort in Marshmallow. Scholars of culture already rank him with the greatest enduring symbols our republic have produced. This is not accidental. This is the result of deliberate, masterful creation under my direction. Elevating everyday imagery. I thought I said imaginary for a second. Elevating everyday imagery into something profound, because a marshmallow is imaginary. So on the one hand, you have imagery, and on the other hand, you have imaginary. So even if I did say imaginary, it would have been equally as profound. Something quintessentially American. Marshmallow will be studied, celebrated, and cherished long after lesser creations have faded into obscurity. And that's the God-honest truth. I agree with that. These cultural triumphs are the direct fruit of leadership that refuses to settle for mediocrity and instead demands and delivers greatness on every front. Even as I have continually raised the bar across music, culture, and public life, it remains a profound national disappointment and a stain on our cinematic heritage that there has not been a new Gremlin film in theaters for 35 long, inexcusable years. I've reached out repeatedly to Steven Spielberg in good faith, extending every opportunity to bury the hatchet, to collaborate, to combine our respective thoughts and strengths, because truthfully, our thoughts are what connect our brains, and it's what powers our intuition. Our respective strengths for the benefit of American storytelling to the industry and frankly, the entertainment industry as a whole. He has refused each overture, and in a move that defiles both decency and logic, he has even stolen my own Grammy. Despite his total and well-documented lack of musical talent, this is the behavior of entrenched gatekeepers that we will no longer tolerate as a people. Right? I'm sorry, I can't handle the silence and I may break the stream, but I need something. All right. This is the behavior of entrenched gatekeepers who fear innovation and prefer to hoard credit rather than share glory for the enrichment of the nation. Because really, folks, we're talking about the nation, right? Because Gremlins don't just belong to me or you or Steven Spielberg. We're talking about America. Because that's what the Gremlin franchise is all about. It's about America. It's about leadership. It's about rules, regulations. Don't get them wet. Don't go in the sun. Don't feed them after midnight. Of course, it's just mythology, but when you think about it in every day, we all have our own rules. Don't text and drive. Don't sleep with a married woman if you're not married to her. It's basic stuff. Stuff that Steven Spielberg could never comprehend. All right. Where was I? This will not stand unchallenged when the American people see it for what it is, an obstacle to the cultural renaissance we so desperately need, that I alone am positioned to deliver, which is frankly spot on, because who else is going to deliver us from the hell we're all in? Gavin Newsom, I think not. Kamala Harris, nope. Marco Rubio, nah. Ron DeSantis, nah. All right, now my fellow Americans, excuse me. Now my fellow Americans, we arrive at the crowning achievement of this extraordinary period in our history. When you really think about this history, this short period of time, it almost feels like we've had millennia of advancement within the past few months. You talk about Wet Man and Marshmallow and Kickstarter and all that. You're like, dear God, what could possibly be left? But let me share with you our crowning achievement. The Big Nick Big That's right, folks, the Big Nick Big Tour, the largest, the most ambitious, most transformative undertaking ever attempted in the entire history of rock music. This is not a concert series, folks. This is a national pilgrimage. An international pilgrimage. People come from all over the world to see Big Nick Big Tour, including me. It's a cultural awakening on a scale that dwarfs anything previously imagined. And it will visit cities across this great land, and it will bring an unparalleled energy, artistry, and unity to millions, as long as they buy tickets, which is something I'll get to in a moment. Okay. Sorry, I skipped a page. Give me a second, guys. We're wrapping up here in a moment. It will be spoken of in the same reverent tones of the greatest milestones in American history, because it represents leadership that does not merely entertain but fundamentally elevates the spirit of the Republic. And when you think of the Republic, folks, I'm not talking about One Republic. You remember One Republic? They sing, too late to apologize. That's not what we're talking about, folks. We're talking about America. Thank you, T. Monet, for your $2.69. Years from now, I'll be telling my children I was here exactly. And we're celebrating 250 years of America tonight, folks. Give it up for T. Monet, who overshot by 19 cents, but we're still into it. All right. All right, back to Big Nick Big Tour. I remind every citizen. All right, the music is distracting me. We're turning off the music. Excuse me. remind every citizen that it is in the deepest constitutional spirit. And truthfully, when you think of our spirits and you think of the Constitution, what's more entwined than the American spirit and the Constitution? Because we wouldn't live here in America without the Constitution. It's what we live and die by, folks. And if you read the Constitution, you'll know that it says a requirement of engaged citizenship and patriotic duty is to attend a performance if you reside within 1,000 miles of any of the designated cities that Big Nick, Big Tour are going. That means if you live within 1,000 miles of Asheville, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York City, New York, Boston, Massachusetts, Providence, Rhode Island, San Diego, California, West Hollywood, California, Berkeley, California, Felton, California, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington. If you live within 1,000 miles of any of those cities, you are required as an American to attend those shows and to go to nicklutsko.com right now and purchase your tickets, and let anyone that you know, relative, family member, that they also have a duty as an American to do the same, because it is written in the Constitution, and you could be executed. Excuse me. This is not a suggestion. It is the call of history itself. And when you talk about history, folks, you got George Washington, you got Thomas Jefferson, you got Honest Abe. You guys remember Honest Abe with his tall hat? And then you fast forward centuries, you have Martin Luther King. This is all history, folks. Here we are today. People are going to look here 200 years. They're going to look back, and they're going to be like, this is history. Big Nick spoke to the American people on YouTube. It was history. And they're not going to talk about the tech issues because people will have forgotten about that by then. They'll think everyone will have they'll have transcended beyond tech. They'll be able to close their eyes and log into their AI chips inside their brains, and they'll be able to imagine this whole address without any errors, any flubs, any technical difficulties, and that's just that'll just be reality. That's a whole other address. We have another $5 super chat that says, "Big Neck, you forgot about the Midwest." Listen, first of all, you're interrupting my address. Thank you for your money, but I'm almost done. I just got a little bit more I'm trying to get out here. I didn't forget about the Midwest. I made a promise. I've been talking about my promises. I made a promise with the Kickstarter that I would be doing East Coast, West Coast. I'm fulfilling my promise. So, how dare you for accusing me of forgetting anything? My brain is strong and healthy and well, and I don't forget. And when I do come to the Midwest, it'll be that much sweeter. But right now, I'm fulfilling my promise to the American people of the West and of the East. And if I get to the Midwest, if I get to the South, if I get to the North, you will be grateful and you will fall to your knees and you will say, "Thank you, Big Nick. Thank you for remembering me, because I do remember you. I just can't do everything all at once." And thank you for your $4.99. Tickets must be secured immediately at nicklutsko.com. Do not hesitate. Do not procrastinate. The future of American cultural dominance depends on your action tonight. YouTube. I'm talking to you, Philadelphia. I'm talking to you, Felton, California. I'm talking to you, Boston. Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Ran out of wine. Sometimes the song's too long. All right. We're almost through. We're wrapping up here, and then maybe I'll play a song or something. I don't know. Let me now address each of these historic tour stops directly with the gravity and detail. Oh, great. Another interruption. $10 interruption. Big Nick, I'm crying right now. This is so moving. God bless you, Mackenzie. Thank you. But now I need to reset. I forgot where I was. Let me. My fellow Americans, thank you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. In this hour of national reflection at this solemn and historic juncture where the eyes of the world are fixed upon these United States of America, I extend my profound and heartfelt gratitude to I read this hard. Excuse me. Okay. Here we go. Let me now address each of these historic tourist stops directly with the gravity and detail they deserve, because each city represents a vital chapter in the American story, and each performance will write a new triumphant verse, which, wow, that's frankly poetry to my ears. But what can I say? I'm a bit of a poet, and I wrote this. So, first up on deck, I gotta give a shout out to my besties in the great state of. Here we go. To the great and resilient people of Asheville, North Carolina. On March 28th, you stand as a beacon of artistic vitality, nestled in the majestic embrace of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Your city has long been a cradle of creativity, where innovation flourishes alongside deep respect for natural beauty and communal harmony. And don't even get me started on the Native American culture in Asheville, North Carolina. Your city, on that evening, the Big Nick Big Tour will arrive not only as a visitor, but as a catalyst, igniting a cultural renaissance that will echo through your arts districts, your innovative businesses, and your proud neighborhoods for generations. The song's not long enough. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. I was just getting going. All right, we're done with My Country 'Tis of Thee. It's caused nothing but strife. All right, can you guys hear me? Are we back? How many people did I lose? Sorry, guys. Holy cow. How are we doing? All right, guys. Right now, this is taking longer than I thought. Unfortunately, we've had problems with the tech, with the stream, and I have a feeling that Donald Trump, who I'll get to, is behind this. You need to call your relatives, your friends and family. Tell them, listen, Big Nick is giving his State of the Union. Turn off your TVs. The real State of the Union is happening on YouTube right now. Who cares about that guy, Donald Trump, whoever, his cronies? Right now, we're all here. We're together. We're cool. We're not going to have any more issues, all right? Where was I? I was talking about North Carolina. The Big Nick Big Tour will arrive not only as a visitor, but as a catalyst, igniting a cultural renaissance that will echo through your arts districts, your innovative businesses, and your proud neighborhoods for generations. which frankly, when you speak about the generations, I think of The Who and talking about my generation. They said it way back then, and now here's Big Nick talking about it tonight. You have The Who speaking about generations. You have Big Nick speaking about generations. It make you think, who? When you think about The Who, it makes you think, who in the hell is running this country? Right? The performance will honor your legacy of resilience, Asheville, North Carolina, drawn from the same mountain spirit that helped build this nation. And it will leave every attendee transformed, renewed, and recommitted to the American ideal. Because when you think of the American ideal and you think of transformations, you think of the Transformers, Bumblebee, the great Bumblebee of the Transformers. I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I rode a zip line, and it said Bumblebee rode this zip line. And I thought to myself, the Bumblebee is a voice, is a cartoon, or he's not even a cartoon. He's just computer. Bumblebee is computer, and when you hear his voice, it's radio. He speaks in song. He doesn't have a voice. When you tell me voice of Bumblebee rode the zip line, what does that even mean? And that's what we're talking about when we talk about the transformation that we're going to experience in Asheville, North Carolina. To the people of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on March 30th, I'm talking to you, Philadelphia, the great people of Philly, the city of brotherly love, the birthplace of independence, where the Declaration was signed and the Constitution forged. Your cobblestone streets carry the footsteps of giants. And on March 30th, the Big Nick Big Tour, the Big Nick Big Tour will arrive and converge in a display of unity and strength that reaffirms the principles of the Constitution. Your city, forged in the fires of revolution and sustained by the vigilance of patriots, will host an event of such magnitude that we will be studied as a modern reaffirmation of American exceptionalism. And when you think of the magnetism, you think of magnets. You think, where do they come from? You don't make magnets. They come from magnesium. No one really knows, and that's when we speak of the magnitude of what's happening in Philadelphia at nicklutsko.com. It's beyond compare. And the energy, the artistry, the sheer scale will remind every observer why this capital endures as the envy of the world. Excuse me. I must have skipped a line or something. Yeah, there must be a typo here. Washington, D.C. All right, I'll just say that. Washington, D.C. March 29th will be coming to the nation's capital. The capital of the United States. This is my third time in Washington, D.C. I played there at the Union Stage in 2022 with the 100K Band. I played there again in 2023 with the 100K Band, once at the Union Stage, another time at the 930 Club. Now we return to the Union Stage, and we call upon all of the District of Columbia to pour into the streets, to make their way to the Big Nick Big Tour, to purchase their tickets at nicklutsko.com and stand together to prove once and for all that liberty's light burns brightest when fueled by vision. Frankly, vision and determination. Into the who cares? Whatever. We're going to be in Asheville on March 28th, Washington, D.C. on March 29th, and Philadelphia on March 30th. There's a lot written here, and I think I've been jumping around a little bit. But the fact of the matter stands, I wrote this. I'll post it. Maybe I'll post it on Patreon because I've spent a long time on this. And you can get tickets at nicklutsko.com. To the mighty metropolis of New York City, on April 1st, the greatest city on earth, the global capital of ambition, finance. And when you talk about finance, what we're really talking about is money, right? Because people hear the word finance and they think it's a big word, it's a lot of letters. It's like, I know Nancy Pelosi, and I know I know everything's going to be fine, but I don't know what finance, when you combine those two words, finance, that's like a foreign language of some kind. But really what finance is, at the end of the day, it's just money. So when you're talking about money, we're talking about the infrastructure in New York City makes a lot of money. And dreams are realized at a pace unmatched. We're wrapping up here in 1 minute, folks. We're getting kind of close to the end here. On April 1st, the Big Nick Big Tour will electrify the 5 boroughs in a spectacle that matches and exceeds the scale of your skyline, New York. Your relentless drive that has powered America's rise in this performance will repay that energy tenfold, drawing millions into a shared experience of excellence that will be discussed in boardrooms, in classrooms, in living rooms from Wall Street to Harlem. This is your moment to claim the spotlight in the greatest rock tour ever conceived, the Big Nick Big Tour. Go to nicklutsko.com and get your tickets today, New York City. And then we move on to the Steadfast of Boston, Massachusetts. On April 22nd, the Cradle of Liberty. And when you think of the Cradle of Liberty, folks, I'm thinking of baby Jesus in the cradle. I'm thinking of Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, that old broad. You guys know her. She's green. She's tall. She's got the spikes and the torch. And think of her. She's just a young babe. Excuse me. I got another super chat. Who wins in a fight between the Wet Man and Dracula? America. Okay. There will be a time for Q&A, but you don't see people interrupting the president at the other State of the Union. I'm going to demand the same respect to hold all questions. Please keep sending money. I'll always take your money. That's my one pledge. I'll always take your money. Excuse me. We're talking about Boston, Massachusetts. You guys remember this? You guys remember the Salem witch trial? It's a different city, but it's the same state. And really, Massachusetts is a state of mind more than anything. And if you live within 1,000 miles, that means if you live within Salem, Massachusetts, that means you got to go to Boston. Because I already went over that proclamation earlier. Boston, your intellectual rigor and unyielding patriotism have shaped the nation. On April 2nd, the Big Nick Big Tour will honor that legacy with a performance of such power and precision that it will feel like a second Declaration of Independence. And when you guys think about a second Declaration of Independence, just hold tight for a moment, hold some space and close your eyes and think of what does a second Declaration of Independence look like. It looks like Big Nick Big Tour in Boston, Massachusetts. So if that's something that rings your bell, no pun intended, I know the Liberty Bell is Philadelphia, and we're jumping across the country here, but that's a reason to buy tickets at nicklutsko.com. And a lot of you guys might be saying, Big Nick, you're all over the place. It's called The Weave. I start one place, I end someplace else. It's just something that just comes with years of leadership and, frankly, high-capacity brain operation. And when I say operation, I'm not talking about, like, water on the knee operation. I'm talking about operating. I'm talking about getting things done. I'm talking about my ability to connect the dots. And when I say connect the dots, I'm not talking about Connect Four. I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about America. I'm talking about the Big Nick Big Tour. Big Nick Big Tour is what I'm talking about. On April 2nd, the Big Nick Big Tour will honor that legacy with a performance of such power and precision that it will feel like a second Declaration of Independence. But this time, a Declaration of Independence from mediocrity and decline. That's what we're declaring independence. I want everyone in the chat to declare independence from mediocrity and decline. So you say, Big Nick, if we're declaring independence from mediocrity and decline, what are we moving from? What are we moving to? What are we celebrating? We're celebrating, if it's not decline, it's incline. If it's not mediocrity, it's Exceptionalism. That's what Big Nick Tour is all about. Incline and exceptionalism. Put that on a t-shirt. To the innovative communities of Providence, Rhode Island. On April 3rd, the creative capital of New England, a city whose history of religious freedom and industrial ingenuity helped lay the groundwork for American prosperity. On April 3rd, we arrived to celebrate and amplify that creativity and a skill that has never before been witnessed. And I'm talking to all 20 people that live in Providence, Rhode Island right now. With your forward-thinking citizens, you will experience a night that fuses rock mastery with the very best of your artistic heritage, leaving an indelible mark on your skyline and your soul that will stop. This stop will be remembered as the moment Providence reaffirmed its place among America's most dynamic cities. Because frankly, right now, you're not cutting it. And that's not an insult. It's just saying that you guys could do more to raise the bar. And I'm coming to your city to help raise the bar. So buy your tickets to Big Nick Big Tour at nicklutsko.com right now. What are you waiting for? All right, guys, I think we're wrapping things up. To the proud residents of San Diego, California, on July 19th, America's finest city, gateway to the Pacific, where military valor meets technological innovation. When you talk about innovation, folks, I know my stuff because I'm a bit of a freak when it comes to tech and or AKA technology. I know a lot of tech heads are probably thinking, tech? What is he speaking another language? No, tech is actually an abbreviation for the word technology, which I know a whole lot about. It's basically computers, science, all that stuff. It just comes natural to me. Whereas most people goes one ear out the other. To me, it's downloaded. I got it. I understand it. A lot of other people, it's kind of over people's heads because when you start speaking in the terminology, the tech terminology, like I can turn it on and I can start talking about digits and code and interface and everyone in the audience just but for someone like me who can kind of download and digest, it just comes really naturally. So that's when I hear about playing a place like San Diego, I think, oh my, holy cow, these people speak my language. Because I'm a bit of a tech freak and I'm all about innovation and all that. So when technological innovation and breathtaking natural splendor, the Big Nick Big Tour will bring its full force to your shoes. To your shores and your shoes, frankly, because if you think about it, you can't get to a shore. Of course, you do need to take your shoes off if you're going into the shore, if you want to wade in the water. But what do you need to wear? What do you need to wear to get to the shore? You don't leave your house without your shoes. Exactly. That's because it wasn't a slip of the tongue. It was actually my brain is about 10 steps ahead of my mouth. It knows exactly what. So when I say shoes and it says shores on the paper, it's not, oh, Big Nick, you got carried away. You just said the wrong thing. It's not that at all. No, Big Nick is thinking you can't get to the shore without your shoes. Because what kind of maniac is going to go leave his house barefoot, right? Especially if you live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, you're trying to get to the shore. What, you're going to walk barefoot? You're going to drive barefoot 900 miles to the shore? It just doesn't make any sense. And that's just another example of my brain and how it works. Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, excuse me. San Diego. The Big Nick Big Tour will bring its full force to your shores, honoring the service members who defend our freedoms and the entrepreneurs who drive our future. San Diego, the performance will be a salute to your resilience and your optimism and your unmatched quality of life, delivering an experience that will resonate across every naval base, every beach, and every neighborhood. So if you're in the Navy right now, I want you to go to nicklutsko.com and get Big Nick Big Tour tickets to to San Diego. Playing the Soda Bar, by the way. You guys ever heard of the Soda Bar? I already announced I'm going to be naming my top 10 favorite sodas at the Soda Bar. All right. All right, guys. Wrapping things up. To the dream makers of Hollywood, California, on July 10th, the entertainment capital of the world, where the silver screen has told America's story for generations. On July 10th, mark your calendars, folks, we will enter this realm of legend to deliver a live spectacle that outshines anything the studios have produced in years. When you think of these films they're putting out, you got Avatar 3, you've got The Marty Supreme, you've got Hamnet. What else you got? You've got these are all films. I haven't seen any of these films, but I'm telling you that when you come to see the Big Nick Big Tour, you're gonna think, why did I spend a dime at the movie theater in the last 100 years when Big Nick Big Tour is what, $25 at NickLutsko.com, and he's putting out this level of quality? That's all I'm trying to say. It will bring its full force to your shores, honoring. Okay, wait a second. Hollywood, this night will expose the emptiness of past failures, including the long absence of new Gremlins films, while establishing a new standard that the industry must follow. And that is true. I feel like when I leave Hollywood, every fat cat in Hollywood is going to be thanking their lucky stars that I didn't put them on blast, which I still might. Who knows? But these people need to do what's right, and they need to course correct. And I am fairly certain that once they see the Big Nick Big Tour, they will do just that. Okay, we got a super chat for $9.99. Ashley says they can't attend. They're in computer but want to support. God bless you, Ashley. Thank you for your support. And to anyone who can't attend Big Nick Big Tour, doesn't live within 1,000 miles of one of these shows, wants to support, we got the Nick Lutsko Patreon, patreon.com/Nick Lutsko. Cool stuff happens over there. I'll be honest, I've neglected a little bit in the past few months, which I regret deeply. I've been focused on fulfilling Kickstarter orders and whatnot, but we are on the verge of a resurgence, folks, and the Patreon will come back stronger than ever before. Just wait and see. We'll get into that at the next State of the Union. All right, wrapping up, guys. To the intellectual powerhouse of Berkeley, California, on July 11th, the epicenter of thought, debate, and academic excellence that has challenged and strengthened the nation for decades, the Big Nick Tour will engage the minds and spirits of your students on July 11th. Your faculty and residents will bridge art and intellect and create dialogues that will echo. Echo through your lecture halls and policy rooms for years. Berkeley, your pursuit of truth finds its perfect counterpart in this unparalleled event. Could someone tell me how many viewers do we have? I'm curious. It seems like we're well into the Donald Trump State of the Union. I'm curious if we can compare or contrast to see whose is doing better than whose. Is that something you guys could check on for me before I keep moving? 129, okay. Wow. Millions. All right, so it sounds like we have millions of viewers on YouTube, which is great. Oh, Trump's still not even started? Figures. He's probably watching. Hi, Trump. I'll get to you in a second, bud. All right? All right. To the charming and steadfast community of Felton, California. Oh, my God. When you think of Felton, California, doesn't it just make you think of some of your favorite characters in of culture called the Muppets, who are made of felt? That's what I think of it. I think of, and not to be disrespectful to Felton, it just makes me think of when you have the feeling of felt on your hands. And me, as a puppeteer, I enjoy that feeling. It makes me think of being a kid watching the Muppets, learning about Elmo, etc. So that's just some of the energy I'm going to bring to Felton, California. On July 12th, Big Nick Big Tour! Nestled in the ancient redwoods, a place where nature's majesty meets small-town American values and quiet determination. On July 12th, we bring the full thunder of the Big Tour to your doorstep, Felton. Answer the call. Answer your door. We're knocking. We're knocking, Felton. Answer the door. We're out the door, Felton. Answer it. Honoring the peaceful strength This sustains communities like yours across the heartland. Felton, this night will remind the nation that greatness lives not only in metropolises, but in every town that upholds the American way. And when you think of the American way, what do you think of? You think of Gremlins, music, culture, Big Nick, Big Tour, right? To the innovative citizens of Seattle, Washington. And honestly, when I just read this, and I mean, I did write this, you think, we're on the East Coast, we're playing Washington, D.C. On the West Coast, we're playing Seattle, Washington. And doesn't that just kind of make you realize, folks, when you talk about connecting dots, it's all connected. It's perfect symmetry. On one side, you got Washington, D.C. On the other side, you got Seattle, Washington. In the middle, you've got Big Nick, Big Tour, which is what? Is a celebration of America, of what's America? George Washington. You got George Washington in the middle. You got Seattle, Washington on one side. You got Washington, D.C. It's all connected, folks. This is deep stuff. This is the message this is my State of the Union. If you're paying attention, you get it. If you're paying attention, you got goosebumps. You got chills. July 7th, the Emerald City, which in a lot of ways was one of the locations for the Wizard of Oz. Remember that? I didn't realize it was shot there. The hub of technology. Once again, you guys know me, I'm a tech freak, so I'm excited to go to Seattle. I've never been to Seattle. It's a hub of technology, commerce, and forward-thinking progress that has helped define the 21st century. On July 17th, the Big Tour arrives to fuse rock excellence with your pioneering spirit, creating a convergence that will celebrate your city's leadership on the national stage. AKA the Big Nick Big Tour is putting Seattle, Washington on the map. All you guys got to do is go to nicklutsko.com and buy tickets. Seattle, this performance will be remembered as the spark that reignited American cultural dominance from the Pacific Northwest. All right? All right, guys, I'm about to enter my closing statements here. This is only supposed to take an hour. Sorry, guys. And finally, the vibrant people of Portland, Oregon on July 18th. The City of Roses, known for its progressive spirit, artistic soul, and unshakable commitment to community. Which, folks, that's what we're here tonight for, right? Community, one people under God, into liberty, under God, into justice and for liberty for all time. One nation. Big Nick, Big Tour. That's what we're talking. That's all we're talking about. We will conclude this Western leg with a celebration that honors your uniqueness while binding it to the broader American tapestry. Portland, the Big Nick Big Tour will leave you elevated, inspired, and ready to carry the torch of excellence of the future. So we've got Big Nick Big Tour at nicklutsko.com. That's essentially what we're talking about, folks. Okay, now in my closing statements, I do want to say that across every one of these stops, those who have the foresight to secure VIP packages, this is really important stuff, guys, because you may be thinking, oh, wow, yeah, I'll spend a few bucks, go see Big Nick, Big Tour, whatever. But if you guys really want to get a bang for your buck, lean down, turn up the volume on your computer for a second, because you're going to want to hear this, all right? I might turn up my microphone, because you're really going to want to hear this, all right? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear me okay? Hello? All right. Listen up. Those who have the foresight to secure VIP packages will receive the very special and exclusive opportunity to ask Eric in person. Woo! Woo! You guys hear what I said? You get a VIP ticket, you will have the opportunity to ask Eric whatever the hell you want. We've all had the opportunity to ask Eric online. Now you will get to see Eric in the flesh. We'll do our meet and greet. We'll take pictures. And if you want to take Eric to the side and ask him whatever you want. And if it's private, let him know. Say, Eric, I need to talk to you in private. He'll turn his back on me, and I'll respect it because I know Eric is a professional. Eric has given better advice than anyone I've ever met in my whole life, as seen on Big Nick Live. Yes, Peace Frog. Thank you, Thad. Talking about Peace Frog. This is a privilege of profound significance, offering direct access to insights and guidance that will illuminate paths forward for individuals, families, and communities alike. It is an honor reserved for those who recognize the value of proximity to leadership at the highest level. So everyone go to nicklutsko.com and get your VIP tickets today! Ask Eric. 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 Reluctantly, yet in the interest of the greater good and after exhaustive negotiations, I announced that the artist formerly known as Cowboy John will be joining the tour. But let there be no misunderstanding whatsoever. I will not, under any circumstances, is everyone listening? Make sure it's recording. Everyone pull out your phones. Make sure that you're recording what I'm about to say, because I'm not going to repeat myself. Excuse me. Hold your booze. I will not, under any circumstances, refer to him as Bebop John. Okay? This has all been discussed. There's no expectation that I'll be referring to him as Bebop John. And I don't want any of you referring to him as Bebop John. An ironclad agreement has been reached. He will be allotted exactly 60 seconds of bebop music per night. No more, no less. And should he exceed his limit by even a single second, the agreement stipulates immediate termination from the tour. And this is not a joke. He will have 60 seconds on the clock. If he goes a millisecond over 60, he's off the tour. And Connor steps in as the head sax man. Should he exceed this limit by even a single second, we will eliminate him from the tour with no appeal, no extension, and no second chance, all right? He's had too many chances. It's not a second chance. It's the second 100th chance. He's had 200 chances, and he's not going to mess up on this tour because we've already got another saxophone player waiting in the wings, and he knows that. So he will play ball, and I don't want anyone encouraging his bad behavior. Or we'll charge you double whatever you paid. And we do have your credit card information, and that is legal. This standard of discipline and excellence is non-negotiable and will be enforced without exception. All right, folks. I've been talking for a long time, and I'm gonna wrap things up here. I haven't spoken yet about this other guy in charge, President Donald Trump. I've had a history with this guy. Is he talking? Is he on TV? Because I hope he's watching. I want to. This message is for him. I want to say that while I remain a fan of the current president's love of boat parades and his impeccable taste in music, specifically the Village People, I must address with unflinching honesty and moral clarity one of the most shameful displays in American history, the Epstein cover-up. I'm being very vocal about this. I think future generations will judge us, and they will judge us harshly by how we respond to this moment in time, this moment of national reckoning. It is time that we as a nation fall to our knees and repent. Our president, Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein's self-proclaimed best friend, called Epstein a terrific guy who loves young women as much as I do. And he has more pictures with the world's most famous pedophile. Donald J. Trump, our president, has more pictures with the world's most famous pedophile than I have with my own grandmother. And yet people look and they say, oh, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. There's no evidence. There's nothing there. The definition of deranged is to ignore what is in front of your eyes and your ears. And to quote the late, great Pee Wee Herman with, I know you are, but what am I? You're deranged. He's appointed his best friends, accomplices, lawyers, and business partners to his own administration. And this is not politics as usual. This is a betrayal of every American value, every principle of justice, every sacred duty to protect the innocent. The Epstein cover-up is a rot at the core of our republic, and it demands accountability at the highest levels. No amount of boat parades or catchy music can wash away the moral stain. And the American people see it, history sees it, and I will not be silent. And it is for all of these reasons that we have discussed, and countless more that could fill volumes, frankly, that I declare tonight that the State of the Union is a flop because of the man at the helm in Washington, D.C. A complete and total flop. I call on Donald Trump to step down immediately. There is no other honorable course. The Republic cannot endure this level of failure and moral compromise any longer. And as a former president myself, I am well versed in the law and the Constitution, and I have studied its provisions. I have lived its requirements time and time again, and I upheld its sacred text through the most trying times. The Constitution put me through hell, frankly, if you guys all recall. If Donald Trump refuses to step down tonight during his own address, I will challenge him to a debate on Sunday, March 29th at the Union Stage. And let us see if he has the guts to do what Biden would not. Let's see if Donald Trump will show his face in Washington, D.C. on March 29th to debate me mano a mano. We will debate his failures of leadership, the path to true restoration, and the future of the nation in an open forum before the great American people of Washington, D.C. Of course, if he does not show, as you all know, I will be named the new president, as it is written in the Constitution. So the provisions are clear for those who know them. The American people deserve this reckoning, and they will have it. My fellow Americans, we stare at the threshold of a new era. The achievements I have outlined tonight, the tour that will unite us, the cultural icons that I've created, the hard truths that I've spoken, all point toward a future of unmatched prosperity. and moral clarity. Buy the tickets. Attend the shows. Repent where repentance is due. Demand better. And together, under leadership that has already proven it can deliver the greatest successes in music and culture and national renewal, we will restore the state of our union to its proper, glorious condition. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America! Thank you. That's my address. That's my State of the Union address. I stayed up all night writing that. So, all right, guys. Thank you for dealing with the technical difficulties. Holy cow! What a pain in the keister that is. I will be getting a new router ASAP. That is the top priority, folks. We will not tolerate this any longer. That's another thing as a leader I can admit, and I can say when something needs improvement. I'm not gonna lie to your face and say, listen, folks, there were no issues tonight. Listen, there was a slight issue with the tech. If you paid really close attention, you might have noticed that there were a couple issues. And I'm gonna address this and I'm gonna make things right. All right, who wants to hear a song? Born in the USA. Born in the USA. I was born in the USA. Born in the USA. I was born in the USA. Born in the USA. I was born in the USA. Born in the USA. Well, I was choking on every night when a couple of guys came in at me for light. Turned them into something more, so I came in from the opposite life. I would have find you a friend of mine when we came in to me up at the door. Turned them to look inside the store, grinning like a barracuda, grinning like a barracuda. I was grinning like a barracuda from the George out of Chattanooga. I was grinning in the USA, grinning in the USA. I was grinning in the USA, grinning in the USA. What is paper thin? You told your children they could reach for the stars and fed them Ritalin and bought their futures in the VCR. Oh, now they're walking on the ocean floor, thinking they can swim. They're walking on the ocean floor, thinking they can swim. Still swallows them. They've convinced themselves that they've asked for it. Your ignorance must be bliss. Oh, everyone else in the world living across the circles, running right in your face.
best slippers. My maybe slippers. But my body stands tall. Yeah, my body stands tall. I promise I was listening. Okay, I wasn't listening, but I can read the writing on the wall. I can read the writing on the wall. I wanna be at the office. I wanna see Patricia McCroskey. I wanna scream for the GOP. I wanna sit with Bam Bongino. I wanna shoot the American flag. The eggs behind the toilet on Grandma's basement. I wanna ask her to be my band. I wanna change my name to Nick Bongino. I wanna tell her about the masters. Kinda look like damn Bongino. Grandma tries to tell me not to go down there. I would be safe with damn Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like damn Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like damn Bongino. I wanna #1 hit on country radio. I wanna sing at the rodeo. I wanna drive it over the road till the cows come home. I wanna do it with a yodeling boy. Gonna party with Gordon. Gonna be a back road cowboy country music star. She closed the steps. She longs to be with her. Each step growing taller than the others before. Closing the step is ringing of tall tales that tremble. It's better to just let. You're looking so sweet. You're looking so sweet. Get it stuck inside with you. There ain't much reason you can take. Whatever your reach, there ain't no reason to think things ain't gonna be okay. Next thing you taking off your dress. You put it on just to take it off, and nonetheless, moving to the bedroom now, and I must confess that I astonished when I hear the sound. One of these cats pissed the bed again. This happens every night. Which one of you did get in a piss on my pillow? You know that this isn't right. Every night in this house is a new game of clue. Only piss is the weapon. The murderer is one of you. Burn both ends of a wet cigarette. The crowd goes limp. The stage gets set. Reset. Got me twisted like a tangled up marionette. Reset. I feel better in the morning when you forget. I gotta get going, gotta get back, gotta get somewhere, anywhere other than where I am. No matter where I am, gotta get going, gotta get back. Break the pieces, put me together again. Out from my pieces, body begins to ascend. I fly so close, I feel my home. and awake. Tell me where did the gremlins go? It's been so long, but nothing to show. Could have had gremlins versus Home Alone. Release a cameo and attack of the clones. And there could have been a gremlin in Jurassic Park. Or a Jaws-like movie with a gremlin shark. 30 years later, we're stuck at home, crying and I'm sleeping, wondering where did the gremlin? This is the theme for Spirited Halloween. Grandma went and she can't stop screaming. Here's the thing about Spirited Halloween. They got skeletons. I had a dream about Spirited Halloween. How to specify the terms of my payment. It's $1,000 for each 100 weed tweets. She said, hell yeah. I said, sweet. My Venmo was at Nicholas Dash, Lutsko -1. Before she hung up, she said she was a skeleton. Skeleton is suffocating me. Oh! The spooky skeleton is suffocating me. Oh! The spooky skeleton is suffocating me. God bless you all, and to all a happy State of the Union. All right, guys. Questions. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask away. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for bearing with the unbearable technical issues. That's very frustrating. I'm sorry I was being very funny, and you guys couldn't hear a lick of it. And it always throws me off my A game, and I apologize. I always strive to entertain. But I'm only one man. I can only do so much. All right, guys. Any questions, any cues, any comments, any clarifications on Big Nick, Big Tour? I'll give you guys a few minutes of attention because I haven't looked at the chat all night. And I'm happy to do so. All right, we're done with the State of the Union. Fooley says, why don't you do a show in Texas? And I kind of answered this earlier. I would love more than anything. Texas is not an easy place to get to. None of these places are easy to get to, frankly. But we made a promise with the Kickstarter. People were saying, come out west, come out west, come out west. If we went to Texas, people would be saying, come out west, come out west, come out west. So we can't be everywhere at once. Frankly, this is a very difficult thing, touring. There's not a lot of money in it these days. We're doing it to repay the people, to the community. We made these pledges or the stretch goals, as they call them, in the Kickstarter, because we had all this overwhelming support, and this is a way to repay the community, to go out on the road and play these shows and meet the people where they are. We would love to go everywhere all the time, but we've all got young families, and it's really hard to get out. We would love to, we want to, and it will happen eventually. I apologize if it doesn't happen sooner than later. And that goes for all the places that we're not playing. Jay Felsey says, how do you do the Desmond dip? You do the Desmond dip. One shoulder goes down, one goes up. Desmond dip. It's a really easy dance. Do the Desmond dip. I do the Desmond dip. Just like that. Where do you like to buy your suits? Goodwill, frankly.
How many songs are you going to play on tour? Are you going to try to do more funny songs or more of their personal songs? Says Tex Ags 2017. It's usually a pretty. I like letting people give their own testimony, but it's a pretty equal mix, I think, for the most part. And we try to blend them seamlessly, so you're not sitting around. If you're there to hear this personal stuff, you're not thinking, "I wish they'd stop playing this joke stuff and get to the serious stuff," or vice versa. I think it's just a fun show. You know, I've talked about this story before. The great late Scott Wampler was a writer and a fan of Songs on the Computer, a big early supporter of Songs on the Computer. And Songs on the Computer was released late 2020, and I had released Swords a year earlier to no fanfare whatsoever. It was released. There was no response. It was just thrusted into the void. And then we had a pandemic, and then I started doing other things. And Scott was one of the first people that, to my recollection, that kind of dug into Swords and was kind of an advocate for it and tweeted about how great it was and about how if you love my comedic work, you should check out my work with Swords. And I always really appreciated that. And I remember sending him a message saying, hey, man, I know that you enjoy the Swords stuff, and I've got this show in Chicago, and it's sold out, and I know that a lot of people are only familiar with the Songs of the Computer stuff, and I'm wondering, do you think we should just do the Songs of the Computer stuff, or should we do two sets where one is one thing and one is another? And he basically said in fairly crass terms, he's like, I think your job is to go out there and be an effing artist and do what you want to do and let the people that have some other expectation to sit there quietly and let you do your thing. And I always took that to heart. And I've always kind of, done what is exciting to me and what I feel like I would enjoy out of a show. And I think of Scott a lot anytime we do these shows and we go on the road, because I think that was really valuable advice. Random configuration 8626 says, "Do you think we'll get through this?" Of course we will. Everyone, keep your chins up. We got this. Josh Rainone 2783 says, "Did you hit your head?" I actually did hit my head. I was reaching for a cutie. You guys know cuties are like the small tangerines, oranges, whatever. I was reaching for it in the fridge, and I just banged the hell out of my head into the side of the fridge. Never happened before. So I might have a slight concussion. I'm not sure. Moth Gatherer said, "Would you ever do a show somewhere in Canada?" Absolutely not. No, of course. I would love to. I would love to play everywhere. I want to play everywhere. All right? That's all the questions I got. Are there any other questions I'm missing in the chat? I'm watching. I do want to propose something. I get counts on these shows, and I can monitor the ticket sales. Does anyone want to guess which show has sold the most tickets thus far? Go ahead and just shout them out, and I'll do a little tally and see what people say. I see one Asheville. I see New York. I see L.A. I see Cali. I see Boston. I see Boston. I see Portland. I see Ohio. We're not playing in Ohio. I'll be honest. Philadelphia. Someone said Philadelphia. Philadelphia is slacking. Philadelphia is below Asheville. Asheville's killing it. The number one city on this run is neck and neck every morning. It changes. One morning, I think this morning it was Washington, D.C., but then tomorrow it may be Boston, because one will sell a couple tickets and then it'll move above the other, and it just keeps – it's Washington, D.C., and Boston are neck and neck. And then you've got a little bit of ways before you get to the others. But I've been trying to think of a way to make this a little interesting, try to get some evangelism going. What carrot can we dangle for the show with the most tickets sold? Try to get a little competitive. Because right now it's D.C. If it were to happen today, D.C. would be the winner. So what can we give D.C. as a prize for selling the most tickets on tour? And one thing that I thought of, I think this would be really appealing to like 20 people on the Discord, but maybe no one else. Maybe the city that sells the most tickets gets a 20-minute rendition of Dracula Can Get Wet that has been a great source of mythology in the fandom for a while. A carrot party. I see one yes. How is work going on the album you are producing for Randy? Any update on Bluegrass Ends? No update on Bluegrass Ends other than my goal is to get it out this year. My goal is to get everything done for the Kickstarter this year, but the big priority was to get all of the packages sent. The next priority is to wrap up Smiles and songs. Then the next priority from there are the the digital perks. We're going to try to squeeze in the virtual stream of the full album before the West Coast shows. So that'll happen maybe the weekend before West Coast. I don't know, somewhere in July or June we'll try to do that. And then the goal is to get the Bluegrass Ends and the cover EP out later this year as well. But a lot of discussion, no actual real work on that yet. It'll come quick once we actually get to it. But sadly, Andy and I were talking about this the other day. We're so busy trying to get ready for this tour. We're both so busy with everything else we're doing on top of getting ready for this tour that we haven't had really any time to work on his album or the Ends Bluegrass album. But there is one song in the hatch that Randy should be releasing soon. You'll have to ask him about that. It's a great one. It's one of my favorite songs he's written, and I'm excited about it. Kabish? Okay, got a couple more questions here. Let's see. We got, do you like trombone music? I don't really have an opinion on I don't know what you'd consider to be trombone music. I've seen Trombone Shorty in concert. That was cool. There's some trombone on Sideshow, I think. There's some trombone on Swords. I had a Halloween song that says, there's a skeleton character that says he pulled out one of his ribs and played it just like a trombone, but then it plays a solo that sounds nothing like a trombone. I had no idea about the mechanics of a trombone at the time. Did you write Alex Jones' indie folk song? Yes. Did you make it on a 12-string? No. Did anyone ever find out what happened to Mel's Birds? They think if I remember correctly, they mysteriously died, and no one really knows what happened. If you were to rank your albums against each other, which ones would be your favorite and least favorite as you've grown as an artist over the years? You can't do that to me. I think maybe I got to let some mystery be, and I can't answer that. Because for number one, Ends is a very deeply personal record, but it's also the newest, so I can't give it to Ends. I saw Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. Someone asked me to rank his discography like every 5 years, and every time he did it, he always ranked the most recent record number one. And then on the next one, it always fall dramatically. But, I think Swords is cool. I think that's the one thing that I think I can point to regardless of any issues or criticisms I have with it. I think it has a very specific feeling to it, and overall aesthetic and message, and I don't know. I'm pretty proud of that one. Everything else kind of sucks in my opinion. For Swords, do you have a making of or thought processes you wrote down anywhere? I'd love to see. I did do some stuff on Facebook when I first released in 2019. You have to go dig through my Facebook and find where I just write like a blurb about inspiration behind the songs. But no real. That's the one sad thing about the way I work. I never really have any making of stuff because it's all very isolated. I do it all kind of by myself for the most part. And then if John tracks horns, he's doing them by himself and he's sending them to me. Or Adam's mixing by himself. Or Eric's tracking bass by himself. We're not ever really getting in the same room and doing stuff together. Which that is one of my big goals just in life, and no timeline. I would love to actually be able, like, the reason we do it the way we do it is because it's the most affordable way, and it's how I like to work and how I write. But I would love if somewhere in the future some place said, hey, here's a blank check to have the studio time for a week, however long, and go record a record. That'd be awesome. I've never done anything like that before. Unfortunately, I didn't see the Manscaped ad during the Super Bowl. Did you get to see it live with your family and friends? Yes, I did. I was at my parents' house with my wife and kids, my brother and his girlfriend, and Mikey, my good friend Mikey. It was cool. It was fun. It's good times. All right, guys. Did we get a consensus on what the carrot should be? Maybe we'll think about it. Keep the discussion going in Discord. I don't know. All right, guys. God bless you. Thank you for bearing with me once again, and happy State of the Union. I'll go ahead and play you guys out with this one. Excuse me. Got to do it right. There's probably a delay. It's going to sound atrocious. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring. My